Hi there, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, from AAA Suikoden to some giveaways that I am doing to some Chrono Trigger, Atelier Yumiya, and even that PlayStation 1 classic KOUDELKA. And I do think that talking about all that kind of stuff and more is definitely worth a sub, as I do try my hardest to level up to 100,000 subscribers. With your help, your like, and your sub, I just know that I can get there, so thank you so much for that. And now we're going to start here with our opening story about Suikoden. It says, as Suikoden returns from the dead, Konami wants the cult classic jrpg to become another huge title that can rival other AAA games. Yeah, we do hope that we can expand the series beyond where it ended. So, for those of you who were like, oh, I think that, now they're like doing a cheap little gacha mobile thing or whatever, even though the gacha is 100% completely optional because it's only for like the Dream Team characters or whatever, but all the 108 characters can be taken in the mobile game or whatever, but people don't listen to me. They want to do more console games, AAA console games. They want this up there with the Dragon Quest and the Final Fantasies, the Tales series of the world. But they can only get there if we help support them, like we did with the collection, with the remaster collection and everything. And it says, even publisher Konami is hopeful that this revival can become something more. We hope that it will become a huge title that can rival other AAA titles. We hope to take it one step at a time. Besides the new remaster, those steps have included the announcements of an anime adaptation of Suikoden 2, and the launch of a new mobile game that adds new story elements to the series for the first time in decades. That is not a side story, that actually takes place in the same Suikoden world between Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 5. So yeah, as the story expands, Konami kept all the paper notes that the original creators were making. And they are referencing those original notes, and they're discussing how to expand on the series based upon the notes that they did leave behind. So that's really interesting. So they're actually going back to, these canonical notebooks that they had sitting there of like what the Suikoden series is all about, what the 27 True Runes are all about, who these characters are. So they are making it true to form. They're not just going to be making these games like off the seat of their pants, And they also says, Naito says that how he and Murayama had discussed how to expand the Suikoden series even after the latter developer left Konami. And he adds that right now my main goal is to make Murayama proud. And I do hope that we can expand the series beyond where it ended. So yeah, they're already expanding it with this mobile game that looks fan-freaking-tastic, if I do say so myself, and I talked extensively about this mobile game in a previous video that came out this week, and I will link that in the description for you to watch. And not only that, one more thing that I do want to say about the Suikoden is that I am doing a giveaway for this collection, and the giveaway is being hosted on, I think the video is called something like the best Suikoden characters in the early game, or something along those lines. So go over to that video, give it a watch, and you'll see how you can enter for a chance to win your copy of the Suikoden 1 and 2 Remastered Collection as well. And speaking of giveaways, I am hosting a giveaway for Geomythica, which is an action RPG. It's like an 8-bit action RPG that actually takes place in the real world. And I'm doing the giveaway over on Twitter and Blue Sky, so be sure that you follow me over there and enter for your chance to win this cool indie game as well. Now, this news actually comes from a commenter, Insane ASOC. At the end of all these news videos, I was saying, hey, is there anything that you want me to talk about? Let me know in the comments. And he commented, and he was like, hey, David, guess what? Fuga Melodies of Steel is going to be releasing a trilogy in English, physically, as a collector's edition. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's over here on PlayAsia, and I will link this down below as well for you. So it says right here, it has a little Japanese flag and all that, but the language are in English, French, and Japanese. So you can play this in English, although the artwork of the box or whatever will be in Japanese. I assume that the novel will also be in Japanese, as well as the art book and everything else. But the games themselves, you can actually play in English. So if you're looking for a physical copy of these games and you want them, now is the time to grab them over on PlayAsia. Just like I made a video about Suikoden Starleap and some of these other things that are going on, I also made a video about this because it's really exciting. Chrono Trigger is celebrating its 30th anniversary, and various projects beyond the game world have been planned. This comes from a tweet from the official Twitter account from Square Enix. It says, To mark the 30th anniversary and to express our gratitude to everyone who's played Chrono Trigger so far, we're planning a variety of projects over the next year that will go beyond the world of the game. Please look forward to the latest information, which will be posted via Square Enix official X and Chrono Trigger PR accounts. So this is super exciting if you're a fan like me of Chrono Trigger, and I made a whole video going over all this, so if you missed that, please be sure to go back and watch all my thoughts on this, because this is thrilling to me. I swear I sound like a broken record. I'm trying not to, but I'm trying to let y'all know all the news. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered series sales have topped 5 million, and the Final Fantasy series in total has sales of over 200 million. And again, I made a whole video going over all this because they also released sales figures for Final Fantasy 16, which were not so hot. Yet the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered series are pretty hot. So something tells me that they're looking at these two things and like, mythical modern audience action RPG with one character? Or super cheap to produce with tons of party members, turn-based combat, and world maps that sold almost twice as much? I wonder which one I should do for Final Fantasy 17. What a mystery. Nippon Ichi Software announces 5 new projects for the PS5, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Curse, Gobble, Kyorin, Renzu, and Shin Megami Haini. The new titles are out in 2025 and 2026 in Japan, and I don't care, get over my pronunciation, I'm sick of it. The dungeon-crawling RPG Curse, the side-scrolling action game Gobble, the horror-adventure game Renzu are all due out in 2025, while the action RPG Kairuren and the action-adventure game Shinigami Haini are due out in 2026. Okay, here we go. Curse is a dark dungeon RPG centered around the concept of curses. What else? The player takes on the role of an adventurer attached with saving in town played by a curse, while exploring dungeons filled with hidden treasures. However, within the dungeons, curses can suddenly befall the player due to enemy attacks, treasure chest traps, or certain locations. Curses are not just a disadvantage. If brought back to town and purified, they can be used to strengthen the player. Players will need to decide how long they can endure the curse as they press forward. So that sounds like a roguelike sort of thing to me, right there, with different like job classes or whatever. You can tell, you know, you have like your wizard job class, your knight job class, your Amazonian or whatever. Then there's Gobble. This is a side-scrolling action game. The game is set in a world that should have found peace after the defeat of the Demon King. The protagonist, a young boy, encounters a talking sickle during a sudden monster attack. The brash sickle and the boy who is searching for a missing family form a duo, and a quirky, dark adventure begins. The key mechanic in the game is predation. By consuming defeated enemies, the sickle can steal their abilities, so it's like a Blue Magic, Kirby's sort of thing. The game stands out with its distinctive use of American comic book style events and cartoon-like animations. Yeah, I guess it is like a comic book sort of thing. I don't see where the American thing comes into play, because this looks like very anime, very Japanese, but whatever you say, Nippon Ichi, whatever you say. Okay, next one is Kyorin, an action RPG developed by the main staff behind the Disgaea series. One of its distinctive traits is the deep character development and side activities that you would not typically expect from an action RPG, including the Disgaea-style features like level caps of 9,999 and dealing over 100 million damage. The game is set in a vast world where various monsters vie for dominance. The mercenary protagonist uses their weapons and special skills of choice to clear out monsters before taking on a giant boss at the end of each stage. Outside of character development, the game has various other elements reminiscent of the Disgaea series, such as the ability to befriend monsters and fight alongside them in battle and using monsters as weapons. Okay, that looks kind of cool right there. Kind of nice. All these, I'm looking at these games and I'm like, they all look, so far, maybe I should save this little rant till the end of it, but it's like these look very budget, half-baked. And I know I'm just seeing screenshots, and I know that I'm just seeing overviews, but that's just what I'm seeing right now. That's just what I'm like, you know, if you took the budget for all 5 of the games, squashed them together into one, you can make one really freaking good game. I'm just saying. Renzu is a horror adventure game that portrays curses as pure fear. The protagonist is a reporter for an occult magazine who collects and writes about terrifying urban legends and rumors. One day, after hearing a rumor about a death curse, the protagonist heads to a haunted location where they encounter a terrifying phenomenon and become cursed. As the countdown to death begins, the players must search for clues to solve the curse's mystery. The curse grows stronger as the investigation progresses. Will the player be able to escape the looming death curse that gets closer with each passing moment? So this is a horror adventure game right there. And then, let's see. Oh god, that is not like, ooh, that is not my thing at all. This looks creepy AF. I'm gonna be passing on this one. The last one. Oh, it's the third installment in the series following The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince and The Cruel King and the Great Hero. I actually really liked that game. The theme around a picture book-like world that even adults can enjoy. Like the two previous games, the main characters are a monster and a human, and it focuses on young girls suffering from trauma whose altered picture book worlds are housed within a strange library. To return the picture book worlds to the human world, the player must collect memory fragments scattered throughout the picture book. This is done by using the powers of a goat monster, which can eat and destroy the picture book world, and a girl who can alter the paper-made backgrounds within the book's world. That's the goat? Holy crap! What in the... That's not a goat! Holy... What in the world? That is creepy! This girl's just like standing there like this is normal. What in the... Oh, girl! Get a hold... Damn. Okay. Is that the... That looks like a dog. That's... Yeah, okay. Whatever you say, game. We have more information about Claire Obscure Expedition 33, a character trailer for Gustav. And I am so looking forward to this game, and I may have had the opportunity to play it, and I may be playing it. I may be. The world will never know. Maybe. Meet Gustav, voiced in English by Charlie Cox, and in French by Alexandre Gillet, the resourceful and dedicated engineer from Lumiere. Gustav grew up feeling suffocated by the Paintress's constant presence. He has dedicated his life to the city's defense and agricultural systems, striving to protect and provide for his people. Now, as an expeditioner, he devotes his final year of life to defeating the Paintress and reclaiming a future for Lumiere's children. This is the first in our series of character trails which explore the gameplay and motivations of the key members of Expedition 33 as they set course to destroy the Paintress so that she may never paint death again. All I've got to say, good frickin' game. Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories and the Visions Land demo launches on March the 17th, and save data from the demo can be carried into the full game. The demo will allow you to play from the prologue to the early game main quest called Pioneering the Ligneous Region, experiencing gathering ingredients on the field, battles, synthesis, and building. Save data from the demo can be carried over to the full game. It's coming out for the PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC March 21st worldwide. Demo again March 17th if you want to check this one out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown launches on May the 22nd. This is a turn-based TNMT game. That's so cool. It says the first ever turn-based Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game inspired by the classic cartoon. You'll experience a bold new approach to the world of TMNT. Splinter and Shredder are dead, and as the Turtles approach adulthood, they're not just growing up, they're growing apart. Battle of the Foot Clan as a powerful new leader takes control in action-packed campaigns that showcase each turtle individually. You don't have a party? You don't get to play with like all four of them at the same time? Ooh. Carve through enemies and 20 constantly mutating levels that grow, shrink, and add new threats with each turn. Inspired by the classic games. Rack up points? What is this, an arcade game? For high scores? What? While experiencing a powerful original story from acclaimed indie studio, whatever. Oh gosh. Okay, so my hype level went from like here to like here in the course of one paragraph. I wanted a turn-based RPG where you played as all four turtles and like maybe even like April O'Neil or something, or Splinter, or someone like, you know, Bebop and Rocksteady will join your team. I don't know. Like I was expecting something like that, not single player stuff with arcade scores like the 80s. We have a new character for Threads of Time. Barza has been revealed. He's a daring sky pirate planning a heist in 1000 AD. So I was looking at this. There was like a humble indie event or whatever the other day, and I was watching the video, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll make a video about Threads of Time. You know, it looks pretty cool and all that. If they release some new information, and maybe I'll talk about some of the other games too. But the other games didn't look all that great, just saying. And then the Threads of Time trailer that they showed, that I'm showing you right now, is pretty much identical, literally, to the trailer that they showed the first time around with the first video that I made months ago. And I'm like, can't you show something new? It reminds me of that meme with that girl from that TV show where they're like, corporate wants you to, you know, say the differences between two pictures, and she's like, they're the same picture. Like, for real, like, come on, show me something new here. Yeah, they show this new guy or whatever, but like, I want to see more than just that. So anyway, this is a really, well, I can't say it is a good game. It looks like a good game. It looks like a Chrono Trigger spiritual successor, but, you know, I've kind of been there, done that with Chrono Trigger spiritual successors, and every time that I play them, it's always kind of like, remember this great game from the 90s that you loved? Well, here's its kind of clone, but watered down, and everything that you loved about the first game just isn't there. Sorry about it. So again, I'm taking this with a grain of salt, and I am wondering why the only thing new that they showed in this trailer was this piece right here with Barza. Yeah, it was introduce him, but like show something else new, for God's sakes. Advance Wars, or wait, I mean Warside. Yeah. Launches April 14th for the PC, later on for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, and Switch. This is a turn-based tactical game, just like Advance Wars, but it's not Advance Wars, it's Warside. Sure. It says with single-player story campaign, multiplayer support, and built-in map editor, just like Advance Wars. The fight for victory never ends. Choose your commander, assemble your forces, and battle your way to victory. Warside cuts to the core of what made classic turn-based tactics games so great because it's Advance Wars. A great story campaign, unique commanders with different playstyles, often battle powers, and a wide variety of terrains and units. Just like, say it with me folks, Advance Wars! Harvest Moon The Lost Valley and Harvest Moon Skytree Village are launching in June. We have the first screenshots and latest information about this dual pack, and it says that it includes an exclusive acrylic standee while supplies last. Experience Harvest Moon The Lost Valley and Harvest Moon Skytree Village, originally released on the Nintendo 3DS, optimized for the Nintendo Switch with an updated user interface, updated controls, and higher resolution textures and effects. Step into the timeless world of Harvest Moon with a special bundle featuring 2 fan-favorite titles, now enhanced for the Nintendo Switch. Actually, I was looking up videos about this. I was trying to find the trailer for this, and every single video was like, why are they redoing these games? Nobody asked for these games. Like, there was one that was titled, like, the 2 worst Harvest Moons are getting ported. So, like, fan favorite, looks to me like the Harvest Moon fans hate these games, just saying. Whether you're returning or discovering them for the first time, Harvest Moon The Lost Valley and Harvest Moon Skytree Village are now coming together on one game card, complete with all downloadable content included. Revisit cherished characters like Doc in his debut appearance and enjoy the ultimate farming adventure. Customize your landscapes, cultivate mysterious crop mutations, and experience endless thrills, romance, and exploration in both vibrant worlds. Looking over this, it doesn't look like there's anything like new added. Like, it just says updated controls and updated interface and high resolution textures and effects, which, like, duh, you'd have to do that if you're taking a game from the 3DS and putting it onto the Switch. But there's nothing about, like, there's no, I don't know, quality of life features like you would normally see, nothing like fast forwarding or anything like that. So these to me just look like straight up ports of apparently really bad games. However, it is available if you want it for $40 over here on Amazon, and we'll have a link to that down below if you're a glutton for punishment. And in our final story of the day, this is actually kind of cool. The director of the PlayStation 1 horror RPG KOUDELKA is surprised that people are still interested in it 25 years later. If you've never heard of this game before, you may have heard of its successor, Shadow Hearts. Yeah, they're in the same game world of one another. That's why I'm bringing this one up. So this is just, I don't know, the whole article to me is just fascinating. It says, back in 1999, developer Saknoth released the RPG KOUDELKA on PS1. Created, produced, and written by and directed by former Square staffer Hiroki Kikuta. The game is unique in that it's set in Wales and its dialogue is spoken entirely in English. Kikuta, who recently reunited with Square on Visions of Mana, so he's still with the company, has been taken aback by the fact that people are still speaking with the game over 25 years later. Maybe because they love Shadow Hearts. Maybe because Penny Blood is a thing. Well, hopefully it will be a thing if they can ever frickin' find a frickin' publisher. Okay. KOUDELKA's writing and acting is one of the best that I've ever experienced as a gamer. The scene was so ahead of its time and managed to convey much more with such low polygonal count than some current AAA games. Any chance that you could direct and write another game. He actually responds to that, and he says, it's a really happy surprise that so many people are interested and passionate about my work 30 years ago. He then goes ahead and explains the amount of effort that went into the scene highlighted by the questioner. To motion capture the scene of KOUDELKA, I filmed a 10-minute one-take play of KOUDELKA and Edward 10 different times. It was January of 1999. Of course, the lines are also recorded at the same time, and the equipment for that purpose was also developed exclusively So yeah, it's really freaking cool. And then he shared a video, and he goes, "Wait, what? 380,000 views? Yeah." So he's shocked by this. He had no idea that it was so popular. So yeah, this is really exciting. So maybe he will do something with this. I mean, he's working for Square right now. You never know. What's old is new again nowadays. You never, ever, ever know. So that's it for this week's New RPG News. Hope that y'all enjoyed it. If there's anything that you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments. And as always, have a good day.